I have reached Diamond not only for the first time, but also with a non-meta deck, Ashe and LeBlanc, beating all the current meta decks. But how was that possible? Watch the entire video to find out how. Alright everybody, big disclaimer. Alright, listen. Big disclaimer, B-I-G disclaimer. Watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing so everything makes sense. Okay? This is not a Ashe LeBlanc meta deck. This is like my Ashe LeBlanc deck and got Diamond with it. And I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know to make this work. Hopefully you can get Diamond with that as well. And of course there will be a deck link in my description box. So we have a super power spike at level 2 and a little bit also at level 1. But you can see level 6 and 7 is empty and 5 is as well empty. And you have a little bit at level 8, and this is where you want to play the mid game. Okay, the early into mid game, you want to finish the game as soon as possible, ASAP. All right, so this is why it's you can say focused over here. Deck that kind of like counters this deck is aggro. Any aggro deck like Pike and Rek'Sai, Volibear Galio deck, because you cannot frostbite them because they have no power to attack you. They attack you with their defense, and this is a big problem with that deck. You will see that in a second. Okay, as you can see, brittle steel is a must in this one, so this is why we have it 3 times in there. The thing is, what you want to do with brittle steel is frostbite the enemy with brittle steel and then attack with the Trifarian Glory Seeker. This is like the mechanic behind that. Okay, you don't necessarily need Ashe and LeBlanc. All right, you can just make it work with these cards. Okay, you can also throw in, once you have, where is it? You can also make it work with this over here and a Reckless Trifarian. Like these 3 cards can also already end the game if you play it correctly, okay? So this is why you want to have 3 times Brittle Steel. So if they put their, let's say, champions, you can just go ahead and kill that champion with this card by using Brittle Steel without losing your Trifarian Glory Seeker. Okay, this is like the mechanic behind it. Also, you want to use this in order to kill the opponent. Okay, so you can use this into Trifarian Glory Seeker to again like kill the enemy card without losing your card. You can use them defensively, like if someone attacks you, you can use it as for this, all right, to defend your nexus, of course. Then you can see we have these cards over here, Elixir of Iron here to help, and Sky Splitter. You want to use these cards in defensively, which means you want to put them on your champions, LeBlanc and Ashe, because as you can see, LeBlanc has only 2 health. And Ashe has only 3 health. So it's very easy for the opponent to kill these champions, your champion cards, by using spells. And this is the problem here. And then you want to have it in your hand to like rescue your champion. Alright, so this is your kind of your early. This is how you can play the early with these 3 cards. Okay, Trifarian Glory Seeker, Trifarian Hopeful, and you can use this as a blocker, and Icewind Archer, and later on you can put, where is it? You can put Reckless Trifarian in there if you don't draw the the Ashe and LeBlanc. So now I'm gonna explain you how to play with Ashe and LeBlanc. So once you have Ashe, okay, every time you attack, she will frostbite the enemy. Okay, the most powerful enemy on the enemy bench will be frostbited by Ashe, which is a super synergy with this card, Trifarian Glory Seeker. So the mechanic behind this is you want to throw in Ashe, let him frostbite the enemy, and then you pull the frostbited enemy. Now you could say, hey, what happens to my Ashe though? They can now kill my Ashe. This is why you have, first of all, Brittle Steel. This is why you have this. This is why you have this. And this is why you have this, to protect your Ashe. So if they really send someone and put someone to face Ashe, and there's a threat of killing Ashe, you can protect Ashe so easy with these spells. Okay, it's really easy. So then LeBlanc is the card you want to use to like only do damage, and she has quick attack, so it's really easy to do damage. So there is no really threat to her because they cannot kill her because of quick attack. once you level up her, she has 6 power, which is really good. And the only way they can kill her is by using spells, basically. And again, if this is the case, you can use Elixir of Iron again here to help, and Sky Splitter to protect her. And you can see you don't have to use a lot of mana for this. This is so good. This is why it's good, okay? Only 2 mana for this one to get +3, which brings LeBlanc, for example, the leveled up LeBlanc, to 6 health. So how do we want to kill her? There's no way you can kill her. Same thing over here, +3 over here, okay? Iron of Elixir, Elixir of Iron, +2. So there's, it's really hard to kill the champions with in this deck here, okay, with these spells. You use LeBlanc basically, as I said, as a damage dealer, your main damage dealer. And once you have leveled up, you will get this one over here. We don't care about this one necessarily, it's not that good, but this one is really, really good. Because, here's the thing. This is what I like to do. I don't know if other people do it as well, but this is what I like to do with this spell over here. Either I put it on this guy, and this card, Incisive Tactician, allows you to attack again. So if you play this card, you are allowed to attack another time. So let's say you have the attack token, alright? You attacked, okay, you cleared the bench maybe, you did some damage to the Nexus, you throw in this card. You are allowed to attack again. The good thing is, it says 8 mana here, but if once you have dealt damage with LeBlanc and all the other people, it will get reduced by 2, so it costs 2 less, it says over here. So it's only 6 mana. So you throw in this card, you are allowed to attack another time. And here, now the spell of LeBlanc comes in here. You put this one, once you have attacked a second time, you put this one on the Incisive Tactician. So you summon another one, a copy of this card, which will allow you to attack a 3rd time. That's right, a 3rd time. You can attack a 3rd time. You can attack 3 times in a row. Another thing that I like to do, put that on this card, to copy this card. This card, Trifarian Assessor, lets you draw more cards. Okay, for each 5+ power card you have there, you are allowed to draw another card. I like to put in these cards, as many as I can. And this one, I have forgot to say that, if you summon this card before summon like a card like that, you will get only 3 power. But if you wait for it and summon this card before you, if you summon this card first and then this card will get +2 power. So this is also something you want to do. Ideally, you want to throw in this card first before you throw in this card. Okay, ideally. But if you have no choice, you gotta throw in this card. It's better than to take damage, right? But let's get back to the point where I was. Throw in all the +5 cards, like 3 +5 cards or 4 +5 cards before I put in this card. The more 5+ cards I have on the bench, the more I'm gonna draw. And drawing cards is so OP. It's really easy to throw in these +5 cards because they cost so less. Okay, 3 mana only over here. 2 mana only over here, 2 mana only over here, LeBlanc 3 mana only, okay? So it's really easy to get them on your bench and then to throw in this card, okay? And then you can draw like 4 or 5 cards, which is really good, which gives you a lot more options, and this is what I'm looking for. And then you can go ahead, once you have that on the bench, okay? Trifarian Assessor, once you have that on the bench, you can go ahead and put that spell on this card here, copy it, and you will draw another type 3 or 4 cards, bro. Okay, so you will have a lot of cards. You have, the more cards you have, the more options you can choose from. All right, so this is the mechanic behind it that I like to do. So now let's go to Bloody Business. Bloody Business costs 4 mana, which is quite a lot, you could say, but you can reduce that by 2 for any 5+ card that striked the enemy. And this one is really important. This is why we have it 3 times in the deck, because with this one you can just attack the enemy champions, because sometimes the enemy has champions, they don't attack with these champions. Let's say Janna, okay? They just leave it over there and she does her thing, which is really annoying, and you want to attack that champion, okay? You want to get that champion. So you could say, all right, what about that, Mr. King Kong? We have this, we can just challenge her and get her in. But sometimes you don't draw these cards, so you want to have bloody business in there to attack Jaina directly, okay? Harsh Winds, kind of just the same thing, just to frostbite enemies. I always use that either to defend myself if there is nothing I have in hand to defend myself and I know I will take a lot of damage if I don't block that. I then use Harsh Winds. But most of the time I use Harsh Winds to level up my Ashe. Here's the thing. Let's get back to Ashe, okay? Here's the thing. If you have frostbited 5 people, they are not allowed to block anymore. So if I'm like on 2, let's say I frostbited during the game, I frostbited 2 people, and I have Ashe on my bench, Reckless Triferin, Hopeful, and this card. At this point you can end the game with 2 frostbited people. You can use Harsh Winds if you have it in your hand. This will get you to 4. And then if Ashe attacks, she will frostbite another guy, which means she will level up. And once she leveled up, the enemy cannot block anymore, and you can get a free shot with Ashe together, Reckless Triferin, Hopeful, Triferin Glory, which and all of them do 5 and Ashe even 6 damage, which means you can end the game right there. So this is also another mechanic that I like to do to end games, okay? Alright guys, this is basically the deck. If you have any questions, you can just put them in the comment section, guys, and I will try to respond to it. I think I want to sum it up real quick. So there are 2 mechanics you want to look for, which is like the Ashe level up to end the game very, very fast and ASAP, together with frostbites. Okay, if you can frostbite the enemies, where is it? Brittle Steel. And level up the Ashe, and you have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 cards on the bench, like Reckless Triferin or Triferin Hopeful. Then you can just look for it and end the game like that. Okay, they cannot block anymore, and you can just end the game. If they want to like kill some of your people, you have always defense spells, as you can see over here, that will just protect your champions that you need to protect, okay? This is the first mechanic. The second mechanic is the LeBlanc mechanic that I want to highlight here. And this is the most important card over there. You wanna put this card on Triferin Assessor to draw even more cards, okay? Or you wanna put it on Incisive Tactician to get another hit, to like strike the enemy 3 times in a row, okay? This is the second mechanic right there. And with these cards in hand, you can end the game very, very soon, very, very fast. Iceweller Archer and Triferin Hopeful are cards that you want to use to protect yourself, okay? This is like the reason for these 2 cards in there. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, everybody. And with that being said, have a wonderful day. If you want to see more LOR, subscribe to the channel Beastmaster64 right here. Peace, everybody.